Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So like I promised last week, we are getting back around to read-throughs this weekend. So yesterday I did about half of the recent Shonen Jump chapter stuff, so got around to Kaiju number 8 and Akane Banashi, as well as read-throughs for Yona of the Dawn as well as Black Hammer. So today I just finished recording the video for the Spy Family chapter, and now we're going to dive into the next volume of Battle Angel Alita Mars Chronicle as promised before. So yeah, like I mentioned in the channel update video last week, there's going to be a lot of great content coming your way in the next little while. So if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, it really does mean a lot to me to see all your support. If you want to press all those little buttons, so if you'd like to do that for me, that would be greatly appreciated. I also want to just put this out there as like a little FYI because I got a couple of spam comments regarding this. I am not looking to sell any of my manga volumes. You know, if I had any intention of doing that, I will post a video about it, talking about it, but trying to get into my comment section, asking me if I'm selling Battle Angel Alita volumes is not going to get you a response. It's going to get you basically just blocked, so please don't do that. It just tends to annoy me. But yeah, I just want to put that out there. Without further ado, let us dive into Battle Angel Alita Mars Chronicle, Volume 4. As we have a Log 17, Fossilization Study and Application. As we pick up where we left off last time with Yoko. Erica eavesdropping on Bear and Muster's conversation. Going, why are you talking about Yoko? And Muster's like, do you want to know? I said, I've known about Yoko for a very long time. And he's like, how? He's like, there's more to Yoko's than you realize. A certain secret about her birth. A secret that is very inconvenient for my arch enemy. It is for that reason that my foe unleashed hitmen to take Yoko's life. And Erica's like, what's Yoko's secret? He's like, oh, don't worry. I'll tell you when the time is appropriate. It's like, Erica and Yoko, quite the odd couple. How surprising that you two would meet without my intervention and become friends. It was surely another twist of fate. God Christ, bro. And you see on the next page as Erica is like on the roof of one of the buildings, is just riding Damjan like a horse with like a little string loop pulled through his teeth. And he's like, giddy up, Damjan, giddy up! Yeah, yeah! And you see him just huffing and wheezing as he collapses with a flop. He's like, yeah, yeah! She's just like smacking him with a riding crop. He's like, wait, please, Erica, stop. He's like, are you talking? Horses can't talk. I'll have to punish you later. He's like, I want you to find out something for me. And you see later at the laboratorium, she's pushing a little tea tray going, Dr. Chinmoy, I bought your tea. It's like, mwah, another failure. It's like, what experiment are you doing? It's like, mwah, what is a child doing here? It's like, I'm Erica, I've already introduced myself. It's like, mwah, well, I have a policy of never wasting the synapses needed to remember the faces and names of other people. Anyway, I'm testing an improved version of my Krista Morton. Want to watch? And you see him taking out a little, I don't know if that's supposed to be an injection, like a little sonic device. Sorry, I was trying to get that close. Do you see that he's like testing on a guinea pig? As he clicks it, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, so it's like a little sonic device. Looks like as soon as he activates the guinea pig, it just like flops over onto his back, and with a crack, he just smashes its head off, and it crumbles. It's like, I'm trying to improve the translucency of the crystallized structures with little success. He's like, that's amazing! And you invented that poison? It's like, sadly, it was not my discovery, but the name Krista Morton came from me. Mwah! It's like, Krista Morton, or crystallizing poison, acts completely different from chemical poisons. It's actually a particulate form of noakite, a type of silicate material. On its own, it's a harmless substance, non-toxic, flavorless, odorless. If ingested, it passes through the body unabsorbed in a week. Excuse me. But when exposed to ultrasonic waves on a specific frequency, the particles vibrate quickly and permanently, crystallizing all surrounding proteins. And Erica's like, how do you kill someone with it? It's like, why would you ask that? It's like, Lister said I should ask you if I want to know about poison. It's like the easiest way is to mix it into food or drink. However, Krista Morton does not dissolve in water, so care must be taken in that regard. If immediacy is your concern, you might introduce it into the target's body through more direct means, a syringe or spiked ring, for example. It can also be added to bullets or shotgun shells for use in guns. He's like, do you put jam in your tea, doctor? Is she gonna fucking poison him? It's like, plenty if you please. And she's like, pours him a cup of tea. It's like, as I said earlier, Krista Morton does nothing on its own. The ultrasonic trigger is the key. Its range depends on the transmitter's strength, but the average is roughly 8 meters. It is also affected by air pressure and humidity. 8 meters is about 26 feet. You can attach the vibration signal to your gun or have it fashioned into a flashlight or a button. Press it for direct input or put it on a timer. It's incredibly versatile. He's like, ooh, let me test it out too. He's like, mwah, mwah, have you awakened to the allure of science? And as she grabs, like, we have a ba-bump, ba-bump. Oh, fuck, she did. Oh, that is sick and twisted, bro. And you see her just activating it. And you see crack as the guinea pig was like running a little wheel, hamster wheel, also explodes and like shatters inside the wheel. And you have Erica just getting all excited, like, ha, ha, ha. And you see click as you see a bunch of baby chicks that are also being tested, also flopping over crystallized. He's like, hey, thank you, doctor. Now I see how it works. She's just laughing maniacally as the doctor's lying there shattered. And you have Mustard going, what? Dr. Chimoy is dead! And Zoe's like, yes. It appears to have been an accident during testing. It's like, no, Erica's just fine. Oh, Christ. And you see Dom John like comforting Erica. She's pretending to cry and wail. And as Dom John like looks at her surprised, like, hey. And Mustard's like, He's like, clever girl. And you see a key as they're flying over the surface with like this giant airship, and you have Zoe putting her into a little spacesuit. He's like, what is this? These clothes are so ugly. And she's like, it's an airtight outfit Lord Mustard prepared for you. Be grateful. We're running a practical test in the void today. And Erica's like, void? It's like the natural exposed areas of Mars with no atmospheric engineering. Going out in that would quickly kill you. There's a job going on out there and we want you to see it. Ooh. The hell, and you see just a pile of corpses that have been piled up. And you see more of them just being like dumped on there. And you see like their face look like almost shriveled, like they've experimented on with something. And Eric's like, human bodies? And so many? Did Mustard kill them all? And he's like, Fwahaha, even I couldn't eliminate this many. It's like, you must refer to him as president while out in the open, Erica. It's like, these are the residents and refugees who died from a Himmelbruch. And you have a Himmelbruch. Oh, that's when, so we saw it in one of the other volumes where it was like the cold air explosion like came down and flash froze everything. And she's like, ah! It's like, are you okay, Erica? It's like, I hear you were lucky enough to escape a breach of the canopy. It's too bad you didn't die with the rest of them. So after being stripped of their clothes, the bodies are solidified with Krista Morton, run through a compactor, and purified in a centrifuge until they emerge as a clean pink powder. This crystallized protein powder is then mixed with limestone to make cement, or blended with clay and fired into bricks and shipped out for construction. This method of recycling the dead is perfectly legal, and I own a number of companies that operate in the industry. Novus Ziegel here is one of them. And I see Novus Ziegel is a combination of the Latin word for new and the German word for bricks. And thus, without realizing it, the people of Mars are all living in houses built of human bricks. Isn't that just delightful? And you see Dom John being like, are you alright, Erica? These are devils in human skin. I see Zoe, I assume, just like beating on him with a piece of like scrap. And like, we can hear every word, limp dick. He's like, please, no. And you see Erica just like crouching down as she sees like this withered flower nearby. And as she tries to like reach out to grab it, it just like disintegrates. It's like in that moment, Erica had an epiphany. She finally understood what merciless meant. Together with the panorama before her eyes, she accepted this moment without emotion. She's like, oh, this is my world. This is Mars. As we have Log 18 Treasure Hunt. You have, according to Martian legend, mankind came to the planet far before the official records state. It is the story of the Alt-9, the 9 fairy tale kings. Their legacy is the secret treasure of Mars, and its mystery is about to be revealed. And you have, this is the entirety of the Golden Crane's message. And you see, I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. We've tried changing the direction of the electrical current, but the string constitutes the only legible characters. So you see they do like a little circle of the characters in it. And you see the body of the code is up QW2U. I'm not going to bother reading it all out. As it can have you decipher its meaning, Dr. Hisham. It's like, frequency analysis suggests that the part surrounded by symbols at the beginning is likely meant to be numerals, but as for the rest, it's like, are you really that stupid? I've already figured it out. Christ. And you see Erica just like riding in on Dom John as her horse. He's like, oh, then write it for me, Erica. And you see her just having written out like what seems like meaningless babble and numbers. He's like, can you explain how you arrived at this? It's like, it's easy. They just type the numbers on a keyboard but shift it over. And Hisham's like, but that's so simple. It's just a type of Caesar cipher. And you see a Caesar cipher is a method of encoding that involves shifting all letters a fixed number of positions up or down the alphabet. It is named after Julius Caesar, who used it himself. It's like, wait a moment. There are 3 instances of Z in the code. That can't be converted to a number. And he's like, you're from Elysium, aren't you, Doctor? He's like, yes, why? And he's like, the layout of the keyboards is different around here. We use the quartz design. It's like, wahaha, even the good doctor cannot match Erica. It's like, my area of expertise is modern encryption theory. These ancient methods aren't my forte. Besides, why are the N and W still in the original code? And Erica's like, Dom John figured that one out. He's like, yes, that was me. And you see the quartz layout is a keyboard layout widely used in German-speaking areas because German uses Z so often it splits places with the Y key. And Zoe's like, then speak. It's like, I figured it out from the, so you see the male kind of symbol. From the male symbol. In astrology, this is a symbol of Mars. In other words, whatever started with the male symbol might refer to coordinates on, I know it has a name, but I can't remember like what the name for it is. Might refer to coordinates on Mars. N stands for north and W stands for west, so it's coordinates. Alright, yeah. I see 70 degrees, 12 minutes, 57 seconds north. 33 degrees, 14 minutes, 36 seconds west. They're coordinates! It's like, what I don't understand are the numbers in the... So you see like a double like overlaid like SS symbols. And Zoe's like, I have a good idea on that one. There's a feature of this second volume of Clausewitz's On War that other editions don't have. The liberal use of those symbols. My guess is that the numbers in the symbols refer to something in this book. And you see this is the section symbol as often seen in legal documents. Hisham's like, I see. Then that might be the cipher that solved the second half of the code. If my theory is correct, that means this code is... And you see a foot thump as a notebook just falls down. And Zoe's like, you're smarter than I thought. My opinion of you has improved. And he's like, I was just trying to help Erica with advice. And Erica's like, get your dirty hands off of him, Zoe. He's like, what, are you jealous? And you see Erica just like glaring at her. He's like, why, you selfish little bitch. And you see as they're taking off in the little airship again, Dom John's like, come on, Erica, cheer up. It's like, you shut up. I saw the look on your face when Zoe was all over you. Well, to blame him, can you really blame him, though? And he's like, I'm your servant, Erica. I would never open my heart to a woman like her. And she's all just like blushing. Dom John's like, well, will you make a promise with me then? When I grow up, you have to marry me. And he's like, huh? And you have the coordinates are in a void in the Acidalia, Planitia, close to the North Pole. I don't know if I'm mispronouncing that badly. Satellite photos just show the area as an empty plain. I can't imagine finding any treasure there. It's like, Erica's solution must have been wrong. I'm sure of it. You see fucking Mustard's get like half-heartedly like, smacking her. She's like, that was so weak. It's like, Lord Mustard, hit me! Hit me harder! Please hit me! He's like, enough of your opinions. If your body weren't already ruined, I'd have crystallized you and put you in my gallery by now. He's like, I'm sorry. It's like, listen, you must not allow the others to suspect that I am weakening, especially Erica. And Hisham rushes in with a Baron Muster! I've solved it! I've got the entire solution! He's like, you're certain? Yeah, the numbers between the, what was it? Sorry, I was looking up, because I don't want to keep calling it the SS symbol, the section symbol. The section symbols do indeed correspond to pages on war. I found the Roman numerals 1, 2, and 3, and the letters F, E, and G. I theorized that this was an Enigma decryption key and put it into the simulator. Look at the results! And you see the Enigma code is a rotor cipher machine used by the Nazis in World War II. Messages could be coded and decoded with a key formed from the layout and starting position of the device's 3 rotors. And you see the latter half of code after decoding is Woder Adler am Augefafel des Skelets picked Beta den Tanzenden Stockon. So you have where the eagles peck at the eye of the skull, offer up the dancing cane. It's like, ha! Why, it sounds like it's right out of Poe. Well done, Dr. Hisham. Ha ha ha! It's like the treasure itself is calling for me. And you see them as they land, getting armed like a little rover and heading out onto the surface. You have Bertha to Anton. Scan the surface from above and send over the data. Keep an eye out for anyone who might be approaching. You have Anton here. Copy that. And you have where the eagle pecks at the eye of the skull, offer up the dancing cane. So look for anything that might be an eagle or a skull. And you see them just like heading out with shovels and like metal detectors. It's like it might be buried under the sand. Be thorough. You have but a week passed without any discoveries. And Monster's like, why? Why can't we find anything? Did we interpret the text wrong? And you see Erica's like, this is so boring, Dom John. It's like, do you think the treasure of Mars is real, Erica? It's like, I don't know. The code could have just been a game that someone in the past made up for fun. It's like, you're quite the little realist. It's like, hey, back to work over there. And you have Anton and Bertha. We've got an emergency. It's like, this is Bertha. What's the matter? It's like, big trouble, Mom. It's a haboob, huge dust storm rolling in from the southwest. It's heading straight this way. Jeff, withdraw. We're pulling out. It's like, Anton, collect Bertha at the rendezvous point, take off, then set course for home. It's like, this is Anton. Roger that. And Muster's like, no, you must not call off the search for the treasure. And Zoe's like, Lord Muster, you have to give up on it. We can't withstand a haboob. And you see a fool as like a dust tornado just swirls up next to them. He's like, look, Tom John, it's a djinn. And he's like, djinn? It's like the djinn of Mars are furious. It's like, this is Anton. Dust devils are keeping me from landing. You have to change the rendezvous point. It's like, roger that. Changing locations. It's like, damn, what's with all these dust devils? They're chasing after the vehicle like wild dogs. You have, a flash. You see like a lightning strike. It's like, amazing. There's lightning going off inside the sandstorm. And you see a boost as a lightning strike takes out the wing of the plane. And you have, Mayday, Mayday, engine down, as the plane just starts going into a spiral for a landing. It comes crashing in and explodes. And Hisham's like, oh no. It's like, this can't be. And Muster's like, ha 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 ha. It's like, what's so funny, Lord Muster? We just lost our only way home. It's like, ha ha ha, don't you get it, you fool? The goddess of fate is making her will known. There shall be no retreat from her clutches until we find the treasure. As we have log 19, the woman of the castle. And you have in Sklodowska, Baumberg Mansion. And you have baby Yoko going, Mama, read me a book. It's like, you really do love your books, don't you, Yoko? It's like, when he awoke that morning, he was a monstrous bug. The end. And you have Die Verwandlung Franz Kafka. I think it's almost metamorphosis. And you see, so adorable. So you're rolling yourself on like a burrito and be like, Bug! It's like, what are you doing, Yoko? You've ruined your dress. It's like, the truth is, Yoko's a bug. That's why she can't talk. It's like, oh, of course. It's like, roly-poly caterpillar. She's like inching herself along. She falls off the chair. And the mother starts laughing. It's like, oh, she's just so adorable. Laughter turns into tears. It's like, are you crying, Mama? Does something hurt? He's like, yeah, I just found a juicy little caterpillar. And she like grabs her little scarf, like puts it over her head. He's like, ee, it's a trap. It's It's like, gobble, gobble, gobble. It's like, I'm done for. Oh, that's adorable. And you have, I'm heading out with Yoko. Get her ready. You have Lord Marquis. It's like, huh, she's still using that tattered old scarf? How many times have I ordered you to give her a new one? He's like, stop it! As he tries to, like, grab Yoko and, like, hoist her up by the scarf. And she's like, no! He grabs her by the leg and, like, dangles her upside down. It's like, you pathetic imitation of a human. You lack discipline. And the mother's like, please stop! And he just slaps her and goes, learn your place, woman. There are plenty I can get to replace you. And you see in Dornborg Palace, you mustn't, Lord Marquis. Lady Kagura is refusing all meetings. It's like, move! Why must an uncle wait to meet his niece? With a thwam, he slams open a door and goes, how are you feeling, Kagura? And you see it, you have, like, this curtain drawn, like, all these medical machines next to a bed. It's like, I bought something I'd like you to see. And he shows Yoko with, like, tears streaming down her face. It's like, as you can see, Yoko's now within my grasp, and there's no hope of curing your illness. So give up on this madness and relinquish your seat. And you see Ashley's, like, trying to get up. I assume she's getting electrocuted because you have, like, all these wires and things, like, going into her. He's like, Wahaha! Your she-fox Parwit is gone. No one will protect you now. Soon I'll call a council meeting and they'll agree that the Lord's position must be passed to... Oh, fucking shit. You got the mask disease or whatever the fuck it is. And seeing, as you see, like, the arms snaking out with, like, all these, like, mutations growing out of it, like eyeballs and things, grabbing onto Yoko's hair. And he slams it away as, like, it retreats back under. He's like, calm down, Lady Kagura. It's like, what a wretched abomination she's become. And you have, I want to go back to Mama. It's like, you little fool. You've got no idea of your true fate. You are going to be the next Lady of Sidonia, Yoko Dornborg. And she's looking at him confused. And he's like, look, this is the power you will inherit. The Ethnarch of Sidonia, Odenbach. I have no idea what this is supposed to be, like an Evangelion mecha. And you see later that night as the little, like, sand crawler is making his way through the desert. It's like, this must be the place. So why can't we find anything? Could we have deciphered the code incorrectly, Dr. Hisham? He's like, where the eagle pecks at the eye of the skull, offer up the dancing cane. The possibility of producing such a meaningful sentence by accident is simply nil. He's like, then these coordinates must be correct. He's like, or perhaps this copy of On War Volume 2 is some kind of special physical qualities that must be utilized. Excuse me. This book is not made of paper, but a specifically treated especially treated animal protein. Most likely human skin with letters tattooed into its surface, using ink of some unknown magnetic substance. Its production is an utter mystery. I've given it a basic examination with UV and X-rays, but that's only the start. I recommend that when the storm settles, we return to the castle for a thorough testing. Muster's like, it must be something simple, something obvious we've overlooked. It must be the same as when Erica solved the mystery of the golden cane only moments after we spent years trying. It is a matter of perspective. And you see Erica the next day, he's like, it's so loud, I can't even sleep. It's like, I need to pee. And she heads into the room with Hisham and Muster. He's like, hey Muster, I've been wondering, do the 9 Kings use the same map as us? God Christ. And he's like, what? Oh, nothing. I just noticed that this isn't at all like the storybook. Good night. And Hisham's like, the mind of a child. Confusing storybooks and reality. It's like, map. The map, of course! The map is different! And Hisham's like, pardon? What do you mean? It's like, the Martian map we use today was produced during the colonization of Mars in the ES 200s, and its meridian line is based upon the findings of Mariner 9 in ES 16, which became the official basis for all Mars mapping. So you see, Mariner 9 was a Mars probe launched by NASA in 1971. It photographed over 80% of the Martian surface. ES 16 is year 16 of Era Sputnik. This would be 1972 AD. And he goes, that must mean that the Scarapelli map the Alt-9 would have been using was on different coordinates. And you see Scarapelli is Giovanni Virginio Scarapelli, Italian astronomer known for his study of Mars. So the proper destination once the shift is accounted for is 21.8 kilometers to the southeast. And you see 16 days later, after the Haboob had passed, Mustard's party headed for the corrected coordinates. There they found a very odd rock formation. In the middle of the smooth, sheer rock wall was a single jutting formation, sharp and wicked. It looked quite unnatural. In fact, there were obvious signs that it had been artificially formed, but nothing suggested an eagle or a skull at first glance. It means the position of the sun is important. He's like, oh, the rock shadow, it's turning into an eagle. It's like at noon on the winter solstice, the rock shadow becomes a perfectly formed eagle that overlaps with the skull relief emerging from the face of the cliff. It's like where the eagle pecks at the eye of the skull. Like just like we thought, there's a little hole here. Offer up the dancing crane. And you see them like slotting into the hole and giving it a little electrical charge. And you see crick, 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 crick as like it just starts turning, and you hear a rattling sound. It's like, Fwahaha, observe! I have arrived at last! The entrance to the legendary Estancia! And you see like this vault door just opening up in the cliff. He's like, thank you, Dr. Hisham. It couldn't have happened without your help. He's like, well, if you say so, I suppose you're right. He's like, here, a small token of my appreciation. He's like, huh? And of course, Mustard grabs a gun and just shoots him twice. And Erica's like, haha, you're in a good mood, Mustard. He's like, yeah, it's been weeks since I got to kill anyone. Thought the withdrawal was going to kill me. He's like, now, prepare yourself. He's like, were you always going to kill Dr. Hisham? He's like, of course. It's like the treasure of Mars is right before us. You have Lapdog of Edom, log 020. Erica's like, my feet hurt. I'm thirsty. So it's like, well, fine. I guess we can take a break. It's like, show me how to drink water, Dom John. It's like, if you press the button on your left arm, it's like, ulp, 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 and she's just like slurping from a straw. It's like, bleh, it's all gritty in my mouth. It's like, well, there's sand in everything. It's like, I want to go back to the castle and shower. And you see that they're in like this giant, elaborate looking maze inside. Yeah, first a code, then a great labyrinth. Whoever set this up really enjoyed their games. It's like, your medication, Lord Muster. It's like, right. And as she injects him, he's like, you could have waited in the vehicle with Biff. It's like, nonsense. The whole point of this venture is to fully experience the discovery of the century. It's like, it's been 3 hours since we entered Estancia, and the readout says we've walked over 10 kilometers already. We're using Tremeau's algorithm, so we should eventually reach the exit. And you see Tremeau's algorithm. One of the more famous methods of solving a maze is the left-hand or right-hand method. By keeping your left or right hand on the wall as you go, it will eventually take you to the exit. The big flaw of this method is that in three-dimensional mazes, or cases when the goal or start is in the center of the maze, you may not be able to escape. And you have a French mathematician named Tremeau devise the Tremeau algorithm, expanded left-hand method to solve for any maze. It works as follows. Place an indicator on the wall and proceed left. If you reach a branch you visited previously, treat it as a dead end and turn around. If you reach an actual dead end, return to the last branch. At the very worst, this will bring you to the exit of the maze, having walked twice the length of all its paths. And I didn't expect it would be this deep, though. Should we turn back and return with better preparation and equipment? And Mustard's like, don't ask foolish questions you already know the answer to. We continue the search, of course. And you see, after another 2 hours in the maze, Mustard's party reached the deepest chamber at last. You have the final riddle is a square depression. Well, that doesn't require very much guessing. It's like the copy of On War, Erica. You see you're taking out the book. And Dom's like, what? I have to do it? It's like, we don't know what kind of traps it might have. It's like, it fits perfectly. You see, as he places it in, the words from the book start like, the words on the front cover of the book kind of like, I guess get magnetized, like sucked up into another screen. It's like, the letters are moving like ants. It's like a password. The entire book is one great password. And you see all the letters and stuff have been absorbed out of the book. And you see like a little CD drive coming out. He's like, oh, what's that? A translucent signing disc? Is this the secret treasure of Mars, the immortality potion? What the fuck, bro? And you see the next page with like a fucking palm strike. Dom John just like smashes Zoe in the face, flips her over, and like grabs her in an arm lock. grabs her knife and gun and goes, "Nobody move a muscle!" As he holds the knife on her and pulls the gun on everyone else. He's like, "Who are you?" And Erica's like, "Oh my gosh, that scared me. That was amazing, Dom John. You knocked out Zoe. Now we're free, aren't we? Come on, let's get out of here." He's like, "Well, Erica, you've been very useful to me." He's like, "Huh? What are you saying, Dom John?" He's like, "You're gonna die with the rest of them." He's like, "What? No! You promised you'd marry me!" He's like, "How could that ever be anything but a lie?" He's like, "Now get off of me," as he smacks her with a thwack. And Mustard's like, "Erica!" He's like, I don't understand." He's like, "Well played, young man. What are you after?" He's like, "What did I tell you? I want your life, Mustard." And Zoe's like, "Revenge for your lover, then? I guess you've got balls after all." He's like, "Lover?" It's like, "Ha ha ha!" And he just like slams the knife into Zoe's arm. He's like, "I think I'll kill you last." He's like, "Ah!" And he stomps it down, like pins into her arm. It's like, "Then you'll see if I'm really a limp dick like you claim." It's like, "My lover? You can't be serious. That was obviously just a story." It's like, "You could have stolen as many women and hatched as many plots in Sidonia as you wanted, Muster, and it wouldn't have bothered my master in the slightest. But the Council of Edom, that was a bad move. You took it too far when you threatened all 18 lords with Christa Morton." It's like, "I see. So one of those cowards sent an assassin into my midst." It's like, "Yes, my mission was to get rid of you and find an antidote to Christa Morton. And if I bring back the treasure of Mars, well, that's another feather in my cap. And when it came to learning the secret of the Christa Morton, you were very helpful indeed, Erica." And you see her kind of just like, God, what's the word? Disassociating again. It's like, "Dom John, you're just making this all up, aren't you? This is a story you're telling to frighten me." And he's just like, "I thought you're a smarter child than this, Erica, but you're just like all the other bitches. I'm sick of you, Erica." God, as he makes that face. He's like, "Haughty, selfish, as shameless as a monkey and a liar. You'll grow up to be a worthless slut. I've fantasized about strangling you so many times. Your eye patch reeks. I'd like to see who raised you. 4 laps around the castle is your damn horse. Why must I suffer this? What kind of sadistic game is this? I wish I could be rid of you. Rid of you! You horrid little shit, you filthy brat. I wish I could forget everything about you." It's like, "Well, it's not part of my mission. I prefer to kill you and erase you from my life. So now you'll die for the sake of my mental health." And Zoe's like, "Scum. Have you forgotten that you've been given slow-acting poison? You can kill us, but you'll still die within a week." And he's like, "Oh, the sow can speak." It's like, "Lay down like the pig you are. You'll get yours later." And he shoots her twice in the legs. It's like, "Oh, I've looked into that poison, of course. I never discovered its true nature. But thanks to Erica, I did get the cure." He's like, Mustard patting his pack as he looks for the little pill case. It's like, "We spent over 3 weeks living together in the same vehicle. You couldn't be completely on alert the entire time." Mustard's like, well, you've caught me off guard." And you see Dom John just like popping a couple of pills and crunching them. Good, "So, I think it's time for you to die now. You know what this is, don't you?" He pulls out one of the pens with like the trigger for the crystallization. It's like, "You mean the ultrasonic trigger?" It's like, "Erica nicked it from Dr. Chinmoy's lab along with the Christa Morton. You already slipped the poison into your suit's water tanks. You've been drinking water laced with Christa Morton this entire time. It's karma in effect. The perfect end for a villain, don't you think?" He's like, "Die." As he activates it, and you see Erica just kind of like cowering as it happens. And you see her sitting there shocked because nothing's happening. He's like, "Why aren't you turning to stone?" And Mustard's like, "Fwahaha, you fool! Did you think the great Mustard would fail to detect your plot? I had that ball of Christa Morton Erica stole switched out with a fake ages ago. It's like, you piece of shit." And you see, God, as he pulls the gun, you see Dom John crystallizing, cracking as he falls over and shatters. It's like, there was no slow-acting poison at all. The pills that I convinced him with the antidote, that was the Christa Morton. Oh, so that's Zoe saying it. It's like, "Let this fellow serve as a lesson to you, Erica." As you see just like her just standing with tears on her face, just watching him. So you have log 21, the sorrows of young Ital. And you see Erica just crying. As Zoe's like, "I'm very sorry, Lord Mutt," as she pulls like the knife out of her hand. And he smacks her, starts wailing on her with a cane. He's like, "You let him steal your weapon? Pathetic!" He's like, "It's like, a crystal disc. It must contain the method to manufacture the mortality potion. Gods, spirits, demons of Mars, witness me! So many lords, thieves, sages, even my greatest enemy, how ardently they all sought this treasure. And now it is within my grasp. Accursed treasure of Mars, how many fates have been driven to oblivion by your allure? It all began on that horrid day in that horrid place. You see, 13 years ago, Northwest Sidonia Province, Merli Jota ruins, aka Face on Mars. Yeah, the ruins of Merli Jota were being excavated and studied at the time. My father, a scholar, was the head of the team and my sister and I took part. It's like, yes, I wouldn't mind being a poet. Perhaps a troubadour, a minstrel. It's like, la la la. And you have Vital Sonnen, which is later Baron Munster. This normal looking guy. It's like, a clown more like it. It's like, you jest, but I'm actually quite a good juggler. Come on, Johann, we can both do it. You can see, like, shut up and do it yourself. You have Johann Wald, later Erica's father. Jeff, I met Johann during the survey. He was a wanderer from the south, foul-mouthed and surly. He was my polar opposite at the time, but somehow we got along well. Yeah, why don't you be a fancy scholar like your dear old pop? You've got a good head on your shoulders, you could get through college. It's like, academia is an option for me. It's not the worst idea, but my arms and legs get antsy sitting in a chair, my head fills with thoughts I want to pursue. There's too much to do, I can't even figure out where to start. Sometimes I curse my own brilliance. It's like, oh, there you are. Stop slacking off and come help, brother. And you have Nolan Sonan, which is Ital's younger sister. I want to say that this is who Zoe eventually becomes Zoe, but I don't know. The last person I wanted to spot me. It's like the lady herself is coming to inspect the site. You see an airship dropping nearby with Kagra Dornberg, later Lady of Sidonia. It looks very much like, I guess, supposed to be the one that got like the weird arm disease thing. Yeah, the excavation of Merli Jota was Lady Kagra's plan, and she was the sponsor of the trip. It's like, oh, she's always so perfect. It's like, I'll be honest. At the time, I was consumed with affection for her. Yes, I knew that she was permanently out of my league. How many love letters did I write and tear apart? Jav, welcome, Lady Kagura. Jav, Dr. Krucht Sonan, Ital and Nolan's father. So we only unearthed the box this morning. A scan shows us that a cylindrical object is contained inside. And Jav, Policella Porwit, who's Kagura's handmaid. It's like, you have not unsealed the box yet? It's like, no. It's like, I look forward to being present at its unsealing. It's like, Policella, the case. It's like, yes, my lady. It's like, this is the Dornberg family heirloom, Clausewitz's On War, Volume 2. It's like, oh, this is the book? The nobility of grandfather's generation fought over this. It is claimed that possessing both the book and another special item will give one the secret treasure of Mars. It was believed that whoever owned the treasure would be the rightful great king of Mars. This was the first time I ever heard the legend of the treasure, but not a word of it entered my ears. I was entranced by the regal line of Kagura's jaw, the voluptuous movement of her full lips. It's like, please do be careful, my lady. It's like, this way, if you please. And you see him taking him inside to, like, the excavation site. And Jeff, huh? It's like, the hell are they going to use all those explosives for? He's like, open it now, Utal. It's like, whoof. And you see him just, like, cracking it open with a crowbar. It's like, oh, what's that? It's like the particles of dust that emerged glittered all the colors of the rainbow in the light and had a sweet scent. In that moment, we were unaware that this was actually a dreadful trap. As he with a thump as he opens it up and takes out the cane. Cogra said, just as the legend said, the golden stalk, the golden cane, the second item that will bring the great treasure to me. It's like, your work is appreciated, Dr. Krucht. I believe that you and your team deserve a reward. Tell the rest of your group to gather here. I will return shortly. Oh, they're gonna... Like, right before I saw Johann saying it, I knew what was going to happen. And you see his phone ringing with, Johann, Lady Kagra is going to give us... It's like, get the hell out of there, you idiot! They're going to bury you alive! And you see like the explosion sets off. You have shock, panic. I do not have many clear memories of this event. I know that I was shouting something as I ran for the exit. I carried my unconscious sister with me, and my father and some of the team followed behind me. Outside, Johann had taken the handmaid hostage and in a firefight with the guards. Nothing about it felt real at all. And you see as they're getting into the airship to take off. Yeah, this is all we've got left? It's like the others are all... It's like, Nolan, hang in there! It's like, damn it, I can't stop the bleeding. It's like, why? Why did they do this? And Johann's like, happens all the time. They're trying to silence us. It's a feature of many treasure hunts. Just ask the handmaid there. It's like, that doesn't matter, we need a doctor. Get us to a hospital. So but when you arrived in town, it's like, if you see any of these people, alert the authorities at once. You have 18 kills for your treasure hunt. They are dangerous criminals who killed 18, abducted a handmaid, and stole a valuable treasure. It's like, that's crazy, they framed us. It's like, the princess really fucked us over. It's like, Lady Kagura seems determined to wipe us out. Can't believe it, how could such a beautiful woman be so cruel? It must be a conspiracy, a plot to overthrow her command. It's like, open your eyes already, Atal. It's like, Nolan's breathing is shallow, we need to help her soon. It's like, let's just surrender, anything to save my sister's life. It's like, absolutely not, I refuse to turn myself in. It's like, you would allow my sister to die, Johann? It's like, you can't trust them, there's no guarantee they'll save her. And the handmaid is like, if you turn yourselves in without further trouble, I will ensure your good treatment. I can testify that the robbery and murder charges are a mistake. It's like, Policella, you said your name was? Can we really trust you? It's like, of course you can. It's like, well, you heard her. We are honest and in the right. If we speak truthfully, the police will understand and take our side. Let's turn ourselves in. It's like, no one argued against him this time. Looking back, you might deride us as fools, but how could we have known then what was about to happen to us? And Johann's like, we need to talk it all. It's like, I'm getting out of here, kid. Tell them all that the robbery and murder was my doing. Besides, I did shoot a couple of her guards. It's like, Johann, you can't! It's like, when I served down south, I killed a superior officer and went AWOL. A few extra crimes ain't gonna make my reputation any worse. Also here. And he tosses in the bags with the golden cane. It's like, the golden cane! It's like, you take the stick, I take the book. And each of us will hide it in a place no one else knows. It's insurance. Use it as a bargaining chip in an emergency. So long, kid. Get Nolan all patched up. Alright. So I guess... quick thoughts on this volume. I honestly don't know how to feel about this volume because I feel like at times it was over-exaggerated, bordering on almost campy with how the characters were acting and like the plot things were happening. And I don't know if that was deliberate or not with regards to that. But yeah, I don't know if that was deliberate or not, because it was kind of hard to get like investor take anything seriously when you had like the whole Dom John being like, oh, I've been a secret assassin this entire time, and you have them going through a literal maze to get to the end of, you know, like the treasure hunt and everything like that. Because like for some reason, like the thought that hit me when we get towards the end of the volume was like the whole the Mummy movie, where it's like, yeah, you know, you can have like a fun campy adventure movie as long as there's like a sense of the series knowing that, you know, it's trying to be like fun and campy, not take itself seriously. And I don't really know if that's what Kishiro is going for with Alita, like the knowing, like trying to pay homage to those kinds of movies or that kind of media. So it feels just kind of like odd and all over the place sometimes with like the facial expressions and like the plot twists and everything that are happening. So yeah, I don't know how to feel. It feels like this was like a very odd volume, and I feel like I don't want to judge fully until like I get caught up with the rest of the series and see what it's like. Because in like the one sense, because you know that Erica's had kind of like, you know, delusions and like daydreams and things before. And so if you kind of view it through that lens of like, oh, you know, this is kind of like all these adventures and things, like everything that's happening has been kind of being filtered through Erica's lens of like how she's viewing her imprisonment and everything like that, look through like this childish lens. in that regard, I could almost see like the over exaggerated like mannerisms, like characteristics and everything as being deliberate. But because we don't have like any kind of confirmation on that, it's hard for me to definitively say like that's what the effect is going for. But yeah, so it's kind of a mixed following. Like it's still very entertaining, but I came away feeling a lot more mixed about like the character motivations and like their idiosyncrasies and everything like that. But yeah, we'll see what I guess the next volume gives us before I pass judgment. But yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag on this one. Well, with all that said, though, I hope you all did enjoy this video. Otherwise, like I mentioned, a lot of great content did come out this weekend. A couple of read-throughs yesterday, as well as all the Shonen Jump stuff. So like I mentioned, next week I will try to do Bride's Story, Yona of the Dawn, and Monstrous, I think, will be the read-throughs to try to focus on getting through next before getting back to the regular rotation. So a lot of good stuff coming your way. So like I mentioned at the beginning, if you like this content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, it really does mean a lot to me. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.